Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Rooster and the Villain. I put the call out there on Blue Sky to the soccer world. Anybody out there want to talk soccer? And Jake responds because we are kindred spirits and we love talking soccer. What's up, Jake?
I missed that intro. Seeing my sweet prince.
It's been a while since we've had the Neil Maupay intro. Really, the Prem show has gone dormant, and now it's USL Adventure Show, which you and Jimmy have been doing all season and have been doing a great job on.
I've really enjoyed that. I mean, obviously enjoyed the league, and it's fun to talk about that stuff where I'm not just focusing on how mad Locomotive makes me on a weekly basis. So, roller coaster season this year for sure. But the league on a whole has been fantastic, as well as USL League One. Just some fucking banger games in that, and
banger goals too. I'm reposting all these USL goals on Instagram, and just like worldie after worldie, stoppage time volley winners, 93rd minute, 98th minute. And then you have the Jägermeister Cup. Yeah, so I think has it hyped you up more, kind of paying attention to it as a podcast host this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that Jimmy and I wanted to do is there's like a lot of there's like two main groups that cover it, and like you have like the analytical side, very, very, very good coverage from people like USL Show, especially John Morrissey. Like the analytical things that they get into is fantastic, and like a lot of times like second division leagues won't get that type of attention, and they give it to them, and that's fantastic. And then Protagonist is like a historical storytelling sort of aspect that's really, really
in the
good.
lower league soccer space, right? Protagonist soccer. I think especially the Twitter era of lower league soccer, Protagonist was all we had, I thought, for a while as far as lower league news has gone. So yeah, like you said, it's crazy they have coverage at all now.
Yeah. I mean, Dan Vaughn and them boys, they do a fantastic job. And I think what Jimmy and I wanted was a like hang out with your friends at the bar and talk footy type podcast, we kind of changed the format up to where we weren't going game by game, because if you're into the league, you could just watch extended highlights and get what we're telling you. Like, why would you want to listen to us when you can watch it in video form? So we started including little storylines, like a brief coverage of the game, who scored, was there a red card, and then a storyline, like Las Vegas fires their coach, and that would be the storyline.
Yeah, what I really enjoyed about what you guys were doing was when you would go from place to place in the USL Championship show and take us on the road to a place, describe the stadium, describe the vibes, attendance, and what the squad was like. I thought you guys were doing a really good service to lower league soccer, which we all know needs some service to head it home here into 2026 World Cup, which is crazy. But yeah, all these podcasts popping up like that, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not in any MLS spaces, but I am on the USL Reddit, and I am on like Locomotive Reddit, which isn't too active and stuff like that. But from what I've seen, just people are excited for the product, which makes me really happy, because I do enjoy the product. And obviously I'm biased because my local club is here, but my local club here in El Paso is a USL Championship club, but I just think it's a better product. I have so much more fun watching a random USL League One game than I do watching MLS.
I mean, I think you and I have both made a point to kind of shun the MLS, to be fair.
Yeah.
But that being said, MLS has always felt plastic. If you're talking
Mhm.
about plastic supportership in soccer, for some reason, it's just always felt that way. So it does feel like a more genuine storyline. You're seeing, I think more opportunities for players to rise from obscurity into professional players, and that just fascinates me. I love everything USL stands for at the moment.
Cough, cough, Diego Luna. Cough, cough.
Yeah. The Talking Flock interview series I just did and just posted, they were talking about Ricardo Pepi rolling through League One a couple of years ago when he was, uh, youngster, like 16, 17, and he scored a brace against Forward Madison
Mhm.
on the road. Like, those are the kind of stories that, come on, if you can't get hyped up on that, I don't know what to tell you. You're listening to the wrong podcast to know that.
His brother was part of that. His younger brother was part of that Jaeger Cup match, Texoma and Phoenix, that just blew everyone away. I
Hmm.
think it was like 4-4, 5-5, went into pens. But I think he had a hat trick. His younger brother had a hat trick for Texoma.
Sick.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, shout out Davey Mason at Texoma. I DM'd him. He got knocked. He got a knock. So he's been out for a little while. So he's been trying to work his way back into that squad. But Texoma is one of the more fascinating stories in League One right now. They started the season very terribly. They looked out of sorts joining the professional ranks, but then all of a sudden just went on a tear. And that League One table is it is looking fun. I think the real fun with USL starts if and when they institute promotion relegation.
Yeah.
If they can't get a Division One established, I still think they should do it between second and third division because people are still into that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe we'll see 3 tiers of professional soccer, somewhat functional in this country, which is a wild thought.
I mean, they absolutely could do it. This cup, the Jägermeister Cup, I think is proving that it's possible to have these teams play each other, and it's interesting, and the talent level is there. And I think with the budgets of these teams currently, even if they don't get that first division status, if you have promotion relegation at the very least between League One and Championship, you have something there, and it's not going to be a yo-yo situation. These clubs are going to come up, and they'll probably stay up. Clubs like Locomotive, who had awful past 3 years, they would stay down obviously in League One, and then they get their shit together this year and they win League One and come back up, stay up. So it's I really, really like the teams. I like that Madison fucking Wisconsin has a club. Like
It's the right
MLS,
size cities. Yeah.
yeah. MLS wouldn't do that. Like Grand Rapids before they went to the dark side, like that is a cool location for a
Dagger.
club. And then, I
Grand
mean,
Rapids
just
would be a perfect USL city.
yeah,
So, some person with deeper pockets than I should almost go test it against MLS Next and just dominate the market against them. But yeah. But we have a problem in lower league soccer, Jake. It's a big problem.
what's
You
that?
know what it is?
No idea.
Attendance, game day
Yes.
revenue is no bueno. They don't make money, which leads me to my first question for you.
Mhm.
And I'll just preface this by saying Jake and I have each come up with 5 questions about U.S. soccer in general that we're going to ask each other just to stimulate a conversation for this podcast. So my first question to you is, where do you realistically place soccer amongst sports fans in America?
I honestly, because our country's so big, I honestly believe that the answer changes throughout regions. But as a whole, professional American football is number 1. College football is number 2.
That's accurate. So that's so fair.
Amongst young people, especially like whatever the fuck those TV execs call it, the key demo, NBA basketball is number 3.
Mm.
And then I believe baseball and hockey are fighting it out. And then I think soccer is underneath that.
All right, so let me change this question slightly for you.
Mm-hmm.
As far as live experience goes, how does that change your order?
Like as far as like what I think is the best
Yeah,
live
when you
sport.
go to the stadium and you're
Yeah.
actually watching the game, absorbing what's on the field and some environment too, supporter culture, whatever that is, as far as the sport goes. Like, where would you rank like fervent fever over your sports team?
Oh, soccer's number one for me. Like it is the best live thing. And again, coming down to my biases, like I have a local club here that I get to go whenever I want, but the there's nothing better. There's drums going the whole time. You see smoke when you score goals. It's fun. It's nonstop.
Affordable.
Yeah. And then I mean, even as like a TV viewing, like don't get me wrong, like I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, I hate the NFL, I hate this and that. I fucking love college football. I really do. And I'm a huge baseball and hockey fan. If I'm watching sports on TV, even it's soccer and hockey in person and on TV because it's less commercialized. I mean, I know it
That's you
still
though. Like
is.
where does the average American
Oh,
I mean I
I
think like
think
you said earlier, it's probably NFL 1,
yeah.
college football 2. I mean, college football environment wise reminds me more of European soccer. I feel
Yeah.
like it's more of like a culty vibe, if you
Well, I
will.
mean, in the same way as, someone in Liverpool, their great great grandfather was rooting for the club and now they do. It's a lot that's very similar to the university culture here where it's like, oh, I've been watching Texas Longhorn football. My granddaddy was watching Texas Longhorn football. So,
I mean, one of my favorite live experiences ever is going to Ann Arbor, Michigan, to the Big House to see
yeah.
Michigan take Indiana on. I think Tate Forcier, for any Michigan fans out there, was the starting quarterback at the time, and he failed spectacular over the years, though. But as far as like tailgate experience, 10 out of 10. Walking up to the stadium, everybody wearing the same colors, in full voice, I would say, going crazy, so loud. It's hard to beat college football as an atmosphere in the country. But sorry, that's such a bad tangent. We were talking about USL having an attendance problem earlier.
Yeah.
Does TV revenue and it being on ESPN make up for that at all for the clubs? Because
I honestly don't know what they're getting in that deal. I mean, I guess I could Google it, but it can't be that much because like I think ESPN Plus looks for like they have their key things, even amongst like soccer, like the key deals I believe are La Liga and Bundesliga. And then they also have like Dutch League, select Belgian league. So you got to think that
they've got FA Cup.
yeah, it's probably like pennies on the dollar is like filler program. And I don't even know what the viewing numbers are. I know a lot of people don't like the ESPN Plus experience, but
That's silly nonsense to me. The ESPN Plus experience, as far as watching lower league soccer across the country, is pretty good. I
oh
mean,
yeah.
you're pretty spoiled. You can see every single game in the league at any time on the app. If people are complaining about USL and ESPN Plus, I don't know what to say. But I'm scared for lower league soccer still because of the travel costs.
Mm-hmm.
Most teams operate in the red. That's I don't know. There's a problem. I don't know how to solve except to go to games and tell people to go to games, but there's only so much of that you can do.
Yeah, that's definitely the main revenue source, and that's why like they push tickets so hard. They push season tickets so hard is that's where the revenue's coming from. Buying merch, buying food, buying tickets. Like that's where you're gonna make your nut in this league.
Yeah. Hopefully, a 2026 World Cup kind of stimulates all the growth and people. I think people are becoming aware of local soccer, and you see some attention paid to it, like especially players, current players, and then former players that aged out a little bit. There's an excitement for professional soccer that you haven't seen in the country in a long time. But I digress. I think you probably got a question for me, so let's keep rolling with the questions.
Okay, so when you said U.S. soccer, I had a lot of USMNT things.
Good. Yeah,
because
I have some too.
Jimmy and I have been very hard on them because we're both we have a bit of a bad taste in our mouth, and I'm sure you do too, but I know that you have more of an affinity towards that team than we do, I believe. So
yeah, definitely.
I wanted your opinion on certain things, but this one's a multifaceted question. So of the players that need to move or have moved, where should they have gone? All right. So we're going to go first with Tim Weah, who moved to where did he end up?
He's at Marseille.
Oh, that's right. He went with that bunch of fucking criminals and rapists.
Yeah. Although, I mean, from a pure soccer perspective, I think Marseille is a good move for Timothy Weah. Yeah.
Especially if he's going to play, then I mean, they were second in La Liga last year under dickhead De Zerbi.
It's a Ligue 1. They're in Ligue 1. Yeah. Yeah, I think the French league is probably a good spot for him. Despite you saying you wanted to take him at Brighton and turn him into a superstar, Tim Weah, I think, is a squad player possibly in 2026, but he's not a star.
Nah.
Not a star boy.
Again, just so the listeners understand where my mentality was coming from, a young, wide player was being played out of position. I'm sorry, we adopted this kitten. She's super annoying, so she's going to be in frame a bunch. But
kittens are allowed on the podcast always. Any animal.
Her name's Wheezy, aka Little Dickhead, because she's just a troublemaker. But again, Juventus once had a young, very good winger that played out of position. They were playing him at fullback at some points. He came to the Premier League and was made a striker, and he became the greatest Premier League player of all time, and that's Thierry Henry. And that, I'm absolutely convinced, Tim Weah, as Brighton's number 9, would be a star player. But don't get me
wrong. Yeah, I've always loved Weah. 2022 World Cup, an absolute. You had to take him. Proved it by scoring a goal. Is one of the most dangerous players we have in attack. Night in and night out is the truth. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, leading up to the 2026 World Cup, you just want playing time. Yeah. You'll get a look if you're on a team playing. So you have to make sure that your move has that in mind, or else you don't have a shot. Because we are deep. It's a deep talent pool. It's not quite quality-wise as good as the top nations in the world, but it is deep at that like secondary level. You know what I mean? Yeah, keep going.
Okay, so my second player is Diego Luna, who played for my boys in El Paso, and now he is at Real Salt Lake in MLS. Excuse me, the MLS. I am absolutely convinced that he needs to get out of MLS like ASAP. Like he's already 21, going on 22. Like if he doesn't get out now, he's going to be stuck there, and he needs to get out.
Jake. Have you no faith in Diego Luna? Diego Luna should stay in the MLS for one more year, ball out in the World Cup, and get a Chicharito deal overseas. I have faith in Diego Luna. I think he should keep the status quo because he's getting playing time at MLS. Pochettino already loves him. So why risk a move to go sit on the bench somewhere when you could ball out in the World Cup and then make a big money transfer? Diego Luna is so good at the fucking game of soccer.
I think he needs to go, not like the typical like Pulisic route or whatever, where it's like, oh my God, this is the best American ever. We have to get him on Chelsea to go ride the bench. No, he should go to like
La Liga.
La Liga
He
would be
speaks the
perfect for
language.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be great in La Liga. Put him on like some like mid-table La Liga club
Yep.
and have him go to work out there. And that's
Yeah.
I would like to see that. The thing that scares me again is it feels like guys, because it happens to Mexican players in Liga MX as well, but I think that has to do more with the pay. But they just get either comfortable or MLS overvalues them and they just can't get out of there. And that's what makes me nervous about it.
Yeah, I mean, MLS is notorious for kind of blocking transfers of young talent. Maybe not as much lately in the last like 5-10 years, but back in the day, they used to block transfer moves where young talent wanted to go play abroad, and they were just like, "No, I'm a billionaire, and you have to play for me." But yeah, he has to make a move after the World Cup, regardless. But I think he should stick it out one more year. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. And then my third guy is Matt Turner, who is, I don't know if Lyon potentially being relegated stopped that move from happening. I don't know exactly what's going on, but he was set to join Lyon, who already has a really, really good keeper, Lucas Perry. And this is one of those things where I just don't like it. I'm not a Matt Turner fan by any means. But
Matt Turner should be nowhere near the starting goal in 2026, in my opinion.
Well, I mean,
this is controversial. But he's just proven to be a backup. So why even entertain it? We have all these starting goalkeepers. MLS goalkeepers deserve a shot as much as European goalkeepers. Fight me on that if you want. They're still shot stopping and everything. And you're telling me out of all these goalkeepers we have professionally in the United States, we don't have two better than Matt Turner? I don't believe it. He's just timid. You know, he gives the ball away in certain situations. He's a good ball stopper, but he just it ain't it for me. And move away to Lyon or not, Lord willing, he stays a backup, and then we don't bring him to the 2026 World Cup is all I can say. That's mean. That's mean. I hope if Matt Turner's listening, I hope he knows that, and he won't be. I still appreciate him. Good dude.
I just think it's with his career, it's followed the same trajectory of a lot of these guys where they get too much dip on their chip, like it's too much hype, and they think they can go to these places with established, especially the goalkeepers. Because if you're a right winger, you can move to striker if they have an all-star right winger. Like goalkeeper, you can't play defense. You're a goalkeeper. So it's like he went to Palace. They had Dean Henderson. He went to Nottingham Forest. Yeah, and he went from playing up to 29 games when he was at New England. Also a Richmond Kickers guy, by the way. But he went like,
is he really?
Yeah, he was at Richmond Kickers. Yeah, I believe they might have been USL. They might have been the top USL league at that time.
Good shout right there.
But I mean, he's been at Arsenal, where he played 7 matches in total. He was at Nottingham Forest, where he played 21 matches in total and was awful. And then Crystal Palace, where he played 4 matches. And now he's going to go to Lyon and ride the pine again. It's just these guys, like with the keeper, I don't see, like you made a good point. Time. Yeah, go to MLS.
You need to bring people to the World Cup that have game time. There's nothing that replaces live action actually playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even like, it's funny, a couple years after the fact, I sympathize with Greg Berhalter over the Gio Reyna decision a bit.
Well, that leads me to the next one. In my opinion, the most insanely overrated player of this current generation. Where should Giovanni Reyna go?
As far as overrated?
No, like where should he go play? Because he's not going to get. He missed the Gold Cup. I believe a Canadian player told his team, like, no, I'm going to go get minutes on my national team. He could have probably said the same thing to Dortmund because I think it was 18 minutes in the entire Club World Cup he played.
Yeah, I mean, The Gio Reyna thing at Dortmund has always been a fascinating one because when he gets in, he does seem to score and create. But I don't watch enough Dortmund to know, like, are those flashes of brilliance in between 20 minutes of laziness? Like, I don't know enough to, I don't watch enough to know. I like the Parma link for him. I think Serie A has proven to be a pretty good landing spot for Americans. I just think maybe the Premier League can be so physical and intimidating, and I think English people have Americans in their, they just automatically create another barrier for them being good in their minds. I don't think mentally it's like a good place to play. I think I like Serie A for Giovanni Reyna. I don't love coming back to MLS already at 22, but if that's where your minutes are, you have to follow that. So Gio Reyna does have a lot of talent. He's so fun to watch when he's on. So I would love to see him actually, come back into the national team picture while playing for a club with regular minutes.
Yeah, I agree. Italy would be good. The game's slower, more tactical. I like Italy. Spain would be fun. And then even like the Netherlands or something like that. Like go.
Yeah, he's still young enough for get on PSV. They like Americans.
That'd be a good one. So that concludes my question.
All right, so I've got one. This is like a very deep question, I guess. How would you fix soccer in America? That's so. Is that, maybe that's not even a good question? I don't know. It's a dumb question.
Easy. And this it's pretty much how you would fix life in America as well. So there's this thing called the guillotine that was introduced in France back in the day during the revolution. We take all the billionaires and we just kind of line them up and then just kind of, so that,
I don't know if I could say this on the podcast.
that fixed that. But in all seriousness, I don't think American owners understand, again, multifaceted issues, right? I don't think the owners understand or think of it in the same way as European owners, where it's like you have a guy like Tony Bloom. Sorry to keep bringing up Brighton, but you have a guy like Tony Bloom who's a professional gambler. He made his money off of actually gambling, sports betting, poker, and gambling software and stuff like that. So he understands everything as a risk and he wants to win regardless. Like he put 150 million of his own money into the team at one point. Like American owners don't think of it like that. They think of it as, I am buying an asset and I don't want this asset to depreciate. Therefore, there's not going to be pro rel. You have these NFL, NBA owners that have never had to deal with anything like that in their life. Like, wait, you're telling me my value can go down if I institute this? Hell no. So
there would be no professional soccer without the NFL billionaires. It's a fact. Like there'd be no current Division I without that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're exactly spot on. They love the closed system, which is, we're basically the only place in the world with soccer league that loves them some closed system. Liga MX is kind of doing it, but we're the originators of the billionaire closed system.
I believe they're bringing it back. Liga MX is bringing it back.
I think I did hear that. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that solves a lot of issues to where kids coming up nowadays, they automatically think they have to get into an MLS camp to go anywhere. If you have things like Pro Rel, your local club, you go play on your local club. And because it's in the same football pyramid, you're going to get noticed. Like there's scouts everywhere in England. Like, like you see the Jamie Vardys of the world that get noticed and get brought up and then become superstars and stuff like that. So it's just, there needs to be teams everywhere that actually have a purpose and a destination that they can aim for. Otherwise, a lot of these teams aren't going to survive, because you look at a lot of like the youth teams or the academy teams around, especially around El Paso, paying a lot of money to get on these teams, and it's ridiculous.
I mean, is there like any world in which we live where USL Division 1 is a perfect success? And then you have, beautiful promotion relegation between the three, and the salaries there's no salary cap, so you see all this crazy spending, and then you have transfer fees among the leagues. Like, you think that's possible for USL?
Probably not. I think unfortunately, I think this is going to be, and we've discussed this before. I see it as like an NBA, ABA type situation, or an NFL, USFL situation, where or AFL as well, like a merger is going to happen at some point. Like they're not going to do enough to succeed, but they're going to do enough to put pressure on MLS. And I think that is the best case scenario. If MLS is if they're able to avoid MLS crushing them, because those assholes will try to do it, but if they can avoid that, I think what will happen is MLS will absorb USL, and we get some sort of promotion relegation throughout that league and do it that way.
I mean, if it happened, if that were the eventual end goal, that'd be a pretty satisfying ending to the soccer wars. that they merge, and then we have promotion relegation.
I always thought, and we discussed this when we had the Bobcast going, is I had always thought USL needed to grab NISA, grab UPSL, grab NPSL, because individually these leagues can't stack up to MLS. But if they all got together and made a proper pyramid on their own, I think that their collective votes within the USSF could influence things in a better way. But
yeah,
I think the amount of national talk, at least through, I mean, again, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. The fourth tier of soccer, I've said this before. I said this on Ian. I went on Ian's podcast, the Pottingham Podspur podcast, and
I heard that you called Locomotive a small club.
Nice, yeah. But I was ranting. Wait, sorry. What were we just talking about?
You were on Pottingham.
Yeah. Fuck. I might have to cut this out of the audio. Now I'm forgetting where I was. Yeah, I lost it.
You had a good discussion on lower league in that show.
Oh yes, there we go. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so the fourth tier of soccer is by far the most fascinating tier of soccer, because it's the only one that's below MLS that's profitable. So you have all these clubs, they don't have to pay their players, so they can pay money in operations, front office staff. And like, if you want to make money in soccer, that fourth tier is the best place to do it. If you want to like be a dreamer, then that second and third, the third and second tier makes sense. But for now, that's just where it stands in the US.
Yeah. I think the big little team, or the big little city idea of USL, I think, is smart. Like, obviously Madison has University of Wisconsin there, but you have places like Portland, Maine, who's become the official team of Jimmy and Jake's USL Adventure League One club.
Like Alta FC, is that what they are?
No, that's they're in Cali.
Hearts of Pine.
Yeah, Hearts of Pine. Portland. Portland Hearts of Pine. That Portland, Maine is like a perfect place for that team, because it's like, not saying that place is boring. It's fucking
I've been there,
but
I've been there. I love it.
Yeah, but it's like, get that whole city invested, and you have fan base for generations. And I like where they are. El Paso is the world's biggest small town. Like, everybody knows everybody here, but it feels like it somehow both feels like a small town and mini Los Angeles sometimes.
Yeah.
It's big, and you have this ravenous soccer fan base, and that is a good location.
How many fans show up to an El Paso game?
Actually, the biggest crowd, I was at it the other day. It was on 4th of July. I think it was like 8,000 something.
Oh, dang, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
And
a good draw.
I think they've been averaging probably close to 6. There's been some games that look back. Can you please stop licking me, please?
That is Jake's cat, everybody. It's not me. I'm not licking Jake.
But yeah, they the city
is the stadium.
It's a baseball stadium. So it's actually the guy who designed it helped design Camden Yards, actually.
Cool.
Very, very nice stadium. I hate watching in a baseball stadium because it just doesn't feel like a good view. And then you have that whole outfield section that's like empty. So
I've seen the field on El Paso, and there's like an empty space, and like I guess it's left center field, right?
Yeah.
There's like a giant gap between the stands and the field, which is definitely odd for soccer.
Yeah, I don't like it because like one of the benefits of playing at home is like you're coming to our arena and you're surrounded, except for your little away section or whatever. But it just doesn't feel like that in a baseball stadium. Like you're not, all the focus isn't onto that. Like you have those empty spaces like you talked about, and it feels gross. But
yeah. Is there any talk for them to build their own stadium?
Yeah, they were obsessed with it being downtown, and they were part of a group, I believe, that tried to tear down like a historic section of downtown, and everyone lost their mind.
How'd you feel about that project? Would you tear down history for a little soccer field?
No, we have so much like space on like the outer edges of the city that they could build in. It doesn't need to be downtown.
People will still show up if it's a little bit outside of downtown.
Yeah, and then I mean, like, there's like even that area too, right? Like I said, like it's mini Los Angeles. Like it's a giant plot of land that you have to drive everywhere. So East Side, where I live, is now the most biggest built up part of the city as far as residential goes. So if you were to build it out here on the East Side in one of the empty areas of the desert we got out here, you'd probably get more traffic coming to you than you would downtown. Like sometimes downtown El Paso, like especially like the parking situation down there, and like their habit of having games at the same time as other events like concerts and shit. Like finding parking is horrendous. Getting to the stadium is horrendous. It's just, I love downtown El Paso, but it's a pain in the ass when it's busy.
Huh. Yeah, I mean every downtown area is a pain in the ass when it's busy. Yeah. Sitting in traffic's like that's the worst thing in the world. I hate it.
I mean, you live in the land of traffic.
Oh, I sure do. The DMV is traffic hell. If it was up to me, Jake, I would be moving to Michigan, close to Jimmy, or somewhere where I can get like 15 acres and just be away from people. But then I wouldn't have any soccer, no live soccer then.
Sunland Park, New Mexico. It's right outside El Paso.
All right. Should we move on to questions here?
Yeah. All right. So I think this one's fairly... I think you asked how to fix U.S. soccer.
Oh, was that last?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we're all right. You go then.
We're rambling, man.
We are. It's all right. That's the point of this. That's the point of this. Whatever this new thing is just to talk soccer. Whatever floats your boat.
So I know one of the answers, obviously for me, is going to be fairly obvious. But who from this quote unquote B or C team are you keeping for the World Cup?
Oh, that's a great question. I think Diego Luna is obvious. Outside of him, I don't know. I mean, Malik Tillman, obvious too. I hope that's for everybody. But outside of that, I mean, I don't see any like guarantees on the roster. Do you?
From this team, I mean, I don't consider Adams a B or C team player.
No, definitely not. Definitely
I
not. I'm assuming like our like grade A players
Yeah.
are assumed. So we're talking yeah.
Do you consider De La Torre a grade A player?
Absolutely
No.
not. No, he's a B teamer.
I think he is valuable as a backup going to the World Cup, especially depending on
Agreed.
how he does in La Liga this year.
He's in MLS. He's in the MLS.
Is he? Oh, he's at
Yeah.
San Diego.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he's on loan.
Mm-hmm.
When does their season end? Does he go back to Celta Vigo when the season ends?
That's a great question. I don't know. I could see
what
him kind of settling into an MLS life, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, Malik Tillman, I agree with. I mean, Chris Richards, as much as I don't like the club he plays on, I mean, he has to be.
I think he's an A teamer. Is how
Yeah.
I consider Chris Richards. I think I'm so sick of Tim Ream. If we bring Tim Ream to the World Cup, I'll scream. But we're on track to bring Tim Ream to the World Cup.
Who else is there?
There's got to be somebody other than 38-year-old Tim Ream. There has to be.
Walker
Please
Zimmerman?
don't tell me. I liked Walker Zimmerman in the 2022 World Cup, but there's got to be somebody else there.
I mean, I can't I'm not paying attention to like the youth setup other than when Diego Luna was playing there, but I mean, you would have thought at this point we'd be hearing about someone who's like 20 years old, like some 6'4" badass, but there's nobody. Like, yeah,
I mean, you hear these names from MLS. Like, I'm not current on MLS center backs is probably the truth of everything. But I remember last World Cup cycle, like Miles Robinson, I thought he was a good center back. Like, there's got to be some MLS talent in that range where we could at least bring out and maybe, compete for that spot.
I mean,
like, is our starting back line going to be Anthony Robinson, Tim Ream, Chris Richards, Serginho Dest on the right?
That's probably it. I mean,
Probably.
McKenzie has a chance to do well in League One, but I mean, if Poch is starting Ream over him.
Yeah, I mean, Ream has had such an interesting career where he has gotten better as he's gotten older.
Yeah.
But we're going to get knocked out in the round of 16 like we do every single time if Tim Ream is starting at center back. Facts. That's a fact. So I mean, I'd like to see him not come.
Yeah, he really has had like it was under the radar because he was at Fulham for years.
Yeah, Fulham loved him, and he was starting so many games at the end of his career, like mid-30s. Right around the 2022 World Cup, he was playing good enough where you couldn't deny him a spot. But at some point, 38 it's too old to play center back. You don't have the speed. You don't have the speed anymore.
Yeah.
But Sebastian Berhalter, it's hard because everyone has such negative feelings about the Berhalter name. He did some things well. I don't want to deny him that. As a holding midfielder, our A team, that's the thing about our A team. It's always been pretty set in stone. We have McKennie, Adams, now Johnny, I think, is definitely in that duo. So that maybe you have like two other center defensive mid spots going. So I don't know who that goes to. So good question. I do actually, I love talking about USMNT still to this day. But let me ask you a question, Jake.
Let's hear it.
Is Pochettino the right fit for the U.S. heading into 2026?
Let me ask you a question. When he had like the setup at Tottenham, right?
Uh-huh.
What style of play was he playing? Were you guys counterattacking? Were you guys possession based?
We were possession based, and
Yeah.
what would drive me nuts is our ability to be incisive in the final third. I thought we lacked creativity in the final third.
So I've harped on this for a while. I'm pretty sure Jimmy feels the same way. I personally like Poch, and I personally think that his hiring was a step in the right direction in showing that, hey, look, we're going to look outside the box, sort of like a Klinsmann thing. Like Klinsmann got crucified for his opinions as well, and he might not have been the greatest manager, but I think he had the right idea. I like the idea of going out and saying, like, we're done with these Bruce Arenas and these guys that their whole identity is just American soccer. Like, we're done with that. But do you know who I think is the perfect type of manager for us? Like a Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
David Moyes. Like a
Yeah.
you look at the Landon Donovan years and stuff like that, where it's like what we were: sound defensively,
Yep.
good goalkeeping,
Mm-hmm.
hard working players. And I understand that
Yeah.
when you go away to your club, like especially like as we get better and better players that are going to clubs like AC Milan, like Juventus and stuff like that, like you're obviously going to be playing system football. But for the national team, I'm going to defend this until the day I fucking die. The only teams that can play quote unquote system football are Brazil, and they're starting to lose that too. But like the Joga Bonita years, where it was like all those guys came up in the favelas, they all played fucking futsal, they all played creative fucking football, and that's why they succeeded. Spain in the 2010s, that fucking monumental run they went on, all those guys either played at Real Madrid or Barcelona, except for my boy David Villa, who was playing at Valencia, who ended up going to Barcelona that summer. But regardless, well, he's not my boy. He's actually kind of a sex pest too.
Shout out NYCFC as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
questionable sexual history though.
Yes. all those guys were playing the same fucking system. So that's why it worked for them. I like I said, I'm going to die on this hill. I don't want system football in national team, especially for a team as untalented is the wrong word, but a team that doesn't stack up talent-wise to other powerhouse countries.
Yes, but international soccer is a different beast.
Yeah.
You see teams like Croatia who on paper don't look as good, constantly overachieve. I think you're pretty spot on. We need like a hardworking type manager like Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for international soccer because I feel like it's the only thing that's not tainted by like money and power at this point. You go back to your country and you play with your countrymen against another squad, and then you have like a mix of players that are well known and a mix of players that like the youth academy brings up. I still have a really big soft spot for international soccer, specifically the World Cup.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it as I've said a million times on here, it's what got me into the sport. Like 2002 Brazil is what made me like soccer. But
yeah. Yep.
I also I wanted to make a joke. U.S. Gold or CONCACAF Gold Cup brought to you by the Saudi investment firm. But like I said, I don't think system football works like this. Find a guy. Obviously, Tim Howard is hard to replace, but we had a mean fucking big boy shot blocking, playing all the fucking time, whether it was MLS or fucking wherever he was playing all the fucking time. We had a great goalkeeper. We had good, solid defenders. And we had forwards and wings and midfielders that wanted to fucking work. And as annoying as those guys have become over the years, at least in my opinion, this like anytime there's coverage and I hear from these guys, it makes me like them less and less. But they got it where it was
I
like,
still love him.
we're not as talented as these other teams, but if we're fucking pit bulls and we go out there and we try to fucking eat, we're gonna win.
That's why I think Tyler Adams is the first man on my team sheet every time. He's a pit bull.
Yeah, I like Tyler Adams.
is a pit bull. I think to me he's the best player on our squad. First name in the team sheet.
Yeah.
But all right. One of my questions, we're coming up in an hour here, so we got to start moving.
Oh, okay. Well, this fills in for it, and we can keep this one brief.
All right.
So a report came out, I believe, by an Irish news source that Brentford had interviewed Pochettino during the Gold Cup or whatever. So people saying it's not true, it's not true. Poch is saying it's not true, but this Irish journalist is standing by his sources and saying, like, yes, this is what I heard. So if you were Poch and everything that was going on with the media, Pulisic, all that shit, could you have blamed him? Or I'm saying, would you have taken that interview? Can you blame him for taking that interview?
Listen, it was probably more of an informal conversation, if anything. So he probably just thought he was going out to dinner to have a little chat. I think that still a national team job is one of the most cushy jobs in all of world football because this man has job security through next summer. If you take on a club and you suck after like mid-season, there's a chance you're getting sacked mid-season. Yeah. So I don't think there's any reason for Pochettino to leave. I think he knows if he takes us to the knockout stages and we get knocked out in the round of 16 or 32, I think it is now. Is it 32 or does it go right down to 16? That's a good question, but
I'm not sure. I know they are expanding it. I don't know if it's this one though.
They expanded this World Cup. I think it's 48 teams, but I don't know if the knockout round is bigger or if they just made more groups or I forget. It's definitely a watered down version, but it'll also be kind of interesting too because you have teams that don't typically make it. So you'll see some more Asian Federation teams that never have a chance to get to come to the World Cup. So in some respects, like I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
All right.
To answer my own question, I can't blame him. I mean, it's like you said though, like cushy job. I think it's like $7 million a year for Poch.
Right.
Which I mean, I'll put up with Pulisic and his fucking dad for $7 million a year.
Pulisic, he's also a very good soccer player.
Well,
politics aside.
Save that because that's coming up.
Okay. All right. So I got kind of a unique one for you. Best World Cup city for a game if you were to visit any one of them. U.S., Mexico, Canada. Where would you go?
Easy.
And why?
It's where I plan on going to see a game because I've always wanted to go to this place. Monterrey, Mexico. That's where I'm going to see a match.
Yeah. That's a famous soccer stadium picture with the mountains outside of the outside the stadium. Looks amazing. Personally, I'd like to go to Vancouver or Seattle, like upper Northwest. In the summer, I think the weather would just be about right. I think avoiding the bigger cities is the best bet because the World Cup final in New York will be just an event among many of New York's events. But if you go to like a smaller city, it will be the event. So I think the atmosphere is better in a smaller city. So I'm hoping to go somewhere kind of unique next year. That's my dream. But we'll see. I'm excited to go and check out a city. I'm jealous that you're going to Mexico. That it does sound like the best one, honestly.
Yeah, that I've really wanted to go to Monterrey for a while, so this is going to be my reason to go. So to cover the Pulisic thing, I guess this qualifies for the entire team, but I want the focus mainly to be on Pulisic. Has the American soccer media landscape overhyped this current roster?
Probably. Yeah, probably. Because the truth is that we don't have any bona fide stars.
Yeah.
Even Pulisic. Pulisic is a very, very talented AC Milan player, which is no joke. McKennie is a very talented Juventus player, but they're not stars. So maybe we have overhyped it a bit. Especially when you consider our back line when we're starting Tim Ream and Matt Turner still getting game time. Like, yeah, I think maybe we should all tamp down the expectations a little bit. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Sounds like my rant from the other day. Just me and Jimmy were talking about it. It's lower your expectations. Like, enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's fun. We have good players, but our quote unquote best player is not a global superstar by any means whatsoever. I think Tyler Adams, if he wouldn't have gotten hurt, I believe that he could have started poking at that, like at that glass ceiling for Americans. I think he could have started poking at it, but he's just been hurt too much.
He's still on Bournemouth, which is an excellent Premier League squad. And
that is the perfect team for U.S. players, in my opinion. Like that type of team where it's like 1 year we can finish 15th, and then the next year we could challenge for Conference League. Like that's where you want, like, get your fucking minutes in. Yeah, I think the American, like outside the two groups that we talked about earlier that are covering lower league, like when you get into your Fox Soccers or Lawless's and stuff like that, and then the former player podcasts and stuff, like if I never ever hear Bruce Arena's opinion ever again, I will be perfectly fucking fine.
Agreed. Yeah.
Hercules,
I'm hearing Bruce Arena's voice and opinions on anything. He's just a boomer.
God,
don't care.
Sucks. And then Lawless, like my dad texted me the other day during the Gold Cup final. He's like, "Hey, I just turned the game on. Who's the douchebag in the cowboy hat?"
It's so accurate, though. He's a douche. He's a douche.
Yeah.
I'd still shake his hand if I saw him in the same room, though. Lexi.
Give him I'd shake his hand right after I rubbed it in my ass crack.
Yeah, like a little taint butter.
Yeah,
hello,
stink
Lexi.
palm.
All right, got a last question for you.
Okay.
Besides El Paso, what's your favorite USL squad and why?
USL League One included?
Yes.
Portland.
Why?
I love the area. I love what they've done with the club. I love the kits, as expensive as they may be, but I think that's main prices. But you watch the I want to go there for a match. I'm trying to find a way that I can get to Portland for a match, just to watch them go, or just to watch the fans go, watch the team go. And then as far as players in particular, God, what's his name? I fucking love the guy. I watched him score a hat trick the other day. Damn it, what's his name? Stalling. Ollie Wright, Englishman, 26 years old, had one of the most insane hat tricks I've ever seen, including the last goal where he just nutmegs a dude, brings it in and just hammers it. Like they've built a fun squad. Yeah, that's outside of El Paso. Like if I'm gonna root for someone, it's either Portland or AV Alta. I have a soft spot for them as well.
Yeah, that's out in Northern California, right? AV Alta.
They are like the western edge, I believe, of like LA County. So they're like near the Mojave, the beginning of the Mojave.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you got a final question for me?
So my final question, and I'm glad you brought it back to lower league. This is one that is near and dear to both of us. It's why we are friends. Would you feel comfortable with Maryland Bobcats rejoining a new look NISA?
Ooh, that's a great freaking question. That's a great question. I've been intrigued by the new NISA. I don't know why NISA keeps drawing me into clicking on articles about them, but I definitely still pay attention to them. The NISA Cup this fall, the Pro Cup, quotation mark is fascinating to me. I still don't trust them for anything at all. And what is a pro cup? That's kind of, yeah. I don't know. I think yes. I would go to Bobcats games if they joined Nisa again. There's no doubt in my mind, but that ship has sailed. There's no way the Bobcats re-enter Nisa. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I would feel gross, but just the feeling of like, and I mean, I never got to see them live, so I wasn't part of that area or whatever. I have fondness for that area, but I wasn't even part of it. But it just made me happy to see them playing. Like, especially like the talent pool in the DMV is insane. And what I wanted was what I wanted was for Bobcats to be like an entry point for some of these guys that weren't getting shots.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing with Nisa in general. That's why I loved it to begin with, the concept that it's a low-cost professional option for both ownership groups that don't have a lot of capital to get into the game and players that don't have the opportunity. So you see Jake Dangler ripping it up at FC Naples, and Darwin's having a good season at the Kickers, and the Bobcats are awesome. I love the Bobcats. I really do. Yeah. So yes, the long answer to that question is I would support the Bobcats in Nisa.
I will give money and support to people like Jay Saba. Whatever decision he makes to do with that club, again, I will support them. I miss the buying merch.
Are alive and well is what people don't really realize on the internet. The pro team has folded, but out of that, the Ashes has birthed a youth academy club that is for all. Truly, it's 501c3 nonprofit that provides opportunities to kids that normally wouldn't get it, and they do awesome things through Alex Cow, who travels the club all over Europe. So the youth squads get to test themselves against clubs from France and Spain, and it's just the Bobcats are very much alive, and I love what they're doing still. And I would love to see them have a first team, even if that first team is UPSL, NPSL, what have you. So that's how I feel about the Bobcats. Oh, a lot of love for that club always.
Absolutely. And they like guys like Richard Forka, like who became my favorite Bobcat player.
He's like without my favorite Bobcat too. Richard Forka. Got it.
And straight up fucking good dude who probably wasn't going to get an opportunity anywhere. I think he was pushing 30 like at the time he was at the club.
Yeah, he was like mid-20s, late mid-20s, but yeah.
So it's like guys like that where it's like Nisa felt cool in the beginning because it was like, like Richard Forka is a pro footballer now, and that's fucking sick. He deserves it. And then even if like with his age now, if they started a UPSL team and he came back, I would be super hyped for the dude. Like I hope that guy, wherever he is, he's having a blast and still playing soccer.
He's still playing. I follow him on Instagram. He picked up with the UPSL squad.
Yeah.
Or maybe he at least played on the Bobcats APSL squad. Something like that. Like the Bobcats do have a squad, a U23 team in the American Premier Soccer League, which also like Baltimore City FC is a part of. And there's a bunch of Christos has a team in that league. So they do have a squad, but they don't like advertise their first team as like a first team anymore.
Yeah.
So,
and then I mean, like you brought him up, Alex Cow, like that dude's legit. Like I'm pretty sure, like while the Bobcats were the first team was still cooking, I think he got like a UEFA license, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think he has his B license, maybe.
Yeah. Like this is if you're in the DMV and you're looking for a place to send your kid to get good at soccer or just to enjoy soccer, Cal's the fucking man. That whole organization from top to bottom. I don't want to get too far into us being hurt by the playoff incident, but should be champions that year. They had built just a monster for that league. that showed up week in, week out because they gave a shit. Jay Saba is a fucking good dude. Alex Cow is a fucking good dude. Evan Ramus, when he was with the club, is a fucking good dude. Top to bottom, that club gave a shit and they fucking mattered. You know, for all, go Bobcats. I miss them very, very much.
Yeah, I like to think that the Bobcats were Nisa's undoing, but then a new Nisa has come out of it, sort of, but it's not really the same. I think the decision to kick the Bobcats out of the playoffs hurt the league's credibility big time.
Oh yeah,
maybe they owed money. I don't know what the situation was behind the scenes, but like that was cowardly bullshit to kick the Bobcats out of the playoffs.
It just, and then, I mean, I'm pretty sure Yoon Kai is of that ilk where it's like you just can't shame someone like him. But whoever was it Prutch running LA Force? Like, both those dudes should just be ashamed of themselves. Like, you guys, like, both of y'all knew you didn't fucking deserve that.
Yeah. It was a crime. It was a crime last year. But yeah, so we'll see about Nisa. We'll follow along. But I think this is us signing off here. If you're still with us, we love you. Good night.
Later, y'all.